ضيق خلقك الحمد لله.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome back. Community Showcase today puts the spotlight on Jamiatul Qurra, celebrating 50 years of excellence in the memorization of the Holy Quran. And today we're here at the magnificent Dawn Mountains in the Franschhoek Valley in the Western Cape. So with me still in the studio is Sharif Abbas, the chairman. I dare say I promoted you or demoted you earlier when I said CEO, and I apologize. And the treasurer, Ishmael Bulli. Assalamu alaikum, guys, and welcome back. And so before the break, we heard the stunning notion as to what you guys are up to. And really, it warms the heart as somebody, and I dare say for all the viewers for whom education is close to our heart, obviously, to learn of an institute that is developing the entire holistic being of a child rather than simply one important facet. So perhaps you can tell us a bit about the campus itself. So I've been fortunate to see the place, and in fact visited the campus on a number of occasions. But for our viewers in general, but obviously particularly for those not in the Western Cape, what does the student at JEQ have access to on the campus itself, Sharif?
Yeah. Just before I get to that, sure. Ashraf, I want to say that our campus, it's this whole quest of developing centers of excellence in the memorization, the recitation, and the study of the Quran. Sure. So that is our inspirational vision. So everybody at Jamiatul Qurra, the fraternity of Jamiatul Qurra, should know that that's our inspired vision. Our ultimate purpose at Jamiatul Qurra, and that is the lived reality on a day-to-day basis, is that we want to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yes. So that's our ultimate ambition. That's what we want to do. Our fundamental purpose is grounding and developing the integrated model of Islamic education, but very, very important as part of this fundamental purpose, that we want to have a transformational impact on those very learners that you have just spoken about. The impact is that they must go through this cauldron of what we call Jamiatul Qurra, where they learn the Quran, they learn maths, and they learn science, and they are grounded to be good human beings. They're going to learn the arts, they're going to learn culture, calligraphy, all of these things. That this is what happens in Jamiatul Qurra. But what happens with this process, and where do we take these youngsters? They must become self-reliant, independent persons that makes a major contribution to the communities and the societies that they find themselves in. They must be contributors to a humanity out there. They must be a contributor to world peace. But at the end of the day, whatever vision they have, and we, as part of our curriculum, we call it visualization and imagination. We allow these kids to imagine their future.
Sure.
And if they want to be a Neymar soccer player, we will remove all barriers to them for them to become a Neymar. Sure. If they want to be a scholar of the Quran, we will remove all those barriers for them to end up being ultimately the best scholar of the Quran. Sure. Essentially what I'm saying is that we want to make a transformational impact. We want to make a major impact on the lives of these learners, their families, the community and societies of.
Inshallah, beautiful. Ishmael, yes.
Now he's talking about the impact, and I think to a certain degree we've already made an impact. If you look at our past graduates. Okay. Our past graduates, they are judges, lawyers, they're in the medical field. Our chairman of the Yusuf Bulli Foundation Trust is A.B. Mohammed, Advocate A.B. Mohammed, who still actively serves on Jamiatul Qurra. So there's a perfect example where guys go in, they plow back again. So,
yeah, sure. Look, that's part of the success of any institute, yes? So that the alumni, in a sense, come back.
In fact, we're busy launching our alumni as well at the moment. You see. And in fact, perhaps we should ask the viewers to, if they've been students of Jamiatul Qurra or my late father, Sheikh Yusuf Bulli, to come back to the institution and plow back, inshallah.
Okay. So really one is encouraged to hear, I think, the vision. And again, I go back, we're celebrating 50 years, and so in 1969, perhaps these measures were in place. In this year, 2019, with the demands of children when it comes to education, their development, I think it is heartwarming and most encouraging to hear an institution that is committed to the memorization of the Quran, but fully understanding that the child does indeed have other developmental needs as well. So that's encouraging. But if I come back to infrastructure, it would be great to have all of these norms and ideals and things that we're going to aspire towards. but we're going to put them in an environment that perhaps is not conducive. So you referred earlier in terms of there's the preparatory school, there's the pre-primary school, etc. So the campus itself, Sharif?
Yeah, well, Alhamdulillah, we've just signed a contract to buy the fourth portion of Jamiatul Qura. We've got 4 tracts of land, and we're just short of 2 hectares at this moment in time. And on the campus, we've got a preparatory school, the preschool, and then we've got 2 tracts of land, and this is what we want to talk about.
Sure.
I want Ishmael also to make some contribution in terms of the orphanage that we're going to be building.
Sure.
But on the 3rd tract of land, because we've realized that we're in the 4th industrial revolution, we've realized the need for arts and culture, and we as Muslims have a lot to offer in this regard. So what we've got in our minds is that on the 3rd tract of land that we acquired last year, inshallah, that we're going to build an 800-seater hall there, so that the entire school population can congregate at one time. That's the first thing. But also to make that venue available to the broader community. So it's really about that outreach.
Sure.
But it is also not that we're going to charge a lot of money for that, but it will also be an income stream.
It's going to cost a lot of money.
Yeah. It will cost a lot of money. The second thing, on the 2nd floor, I just mentioned the 4th industrial revolution. I believe as Muslims, we need to be protecting our deen, like the Quran, memorizing, we're protecting the deen. Yes. But with the narrative, the prevailing narrative out there, being fed via information and data, we might be overwhelmed by this data, and our principles of deen might be undermined. So we're going to build this IT center, we're going to build this library, this digital resource center, so that we can become the curators of data.
Yes.
So whatever comes in, that which is bad, we put one side, that which is good, we give prominence to that.
Sure.
And then also to be the constructors of data in this new era of the 4th industrial revolution. I think it's forward thinking, but I believe that center, we already have a commitment of 1 million towards that center, a very, very charitable person in the broader community.
Sure.
So that is going to happen. And then of course, on the 3rd level, we've also got a commitment of about 500,000 towards a Maths and Science Center. Maths and Science is a very, very important component of our curriculum. And that will be the 3rd level. And then the 4th level, the first art gallery and art studios and calligraphy studios will be built on the 4th floor, inshallah. And that is what we want to do. To end off, I'm appealing to our viewers, and if you have a little bit of belief in what we're doing, then inshallah help this project, which is, I believe, a commendable project for the future of the Muslim youth.
Inshallah. Quite honestly, just before he speaks, it's this impassioned appeal that he's making, but quite honestly, it's based on conviction and truth. And so quite honestly, at the very least, there could be some people sitting in Sharif and thinking, well, okay, this is pie in the sky, this is not Dawn Mountain, this is some other mountain that you're speaking about. But maybe in 1969, if people knew where JEQ would be today, that might have been pie in the sky as well.
Absolutely.
So in terms of, so I'm excited, the notion of providing for the community, but ultimately for our youth, an opportunity to develop in the manner. But if you don't mind, Mr. Treasurer, I'm going to bring this to you. Yeah. So in terms of funding, so either JEQ, and he speaks about the charitable persons, etc., how on earth is JEQ either funded? Absolutely. Let's just speak in the finances.
Question, please.
Yes, it is. And really, Allah rewarded. Yeah.
Presently, look, we are funded, we are self-funded presently, in the sense that we have kids paying fees, but we've also got a program called Adopt a Hafiz. So there's a number of viewers probably watching that have adopted students at place, and they're paying for their tuition. But they've got to go beyond that, because that's only for tuition. If we were to do all that great vision he's talking about, we're going to need much more than that. We need business people to come apart, to join us in this venture and move it forward, inshallah,
Because quite on, I agree, inshallah, absolutely. I mean, there is no doubt that this can happen. This is not some pipe dream that we are having.
Ashraf, if I went back to the year 2000, the recent list, 15 years ago. I mean, this would have, what we got now would have been a pipe dream.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And so really what we have now, I mean, just for the benefit of those persons who are not familiar with it, it's a stunning campus, beautifully designed, aesthetically pleasing on the eye, and there is no reason then why we should be selling our children short in terms of denying them the stuff that Sharif had just spoken about. So in wrapping up, Sharif, we've got about 2 minutes left in the program. What's your message you want to tell to parents at home, people who perhaps have the kids who could be coming to JEQ, and perhaps even ex-students, whatever the case may
My
be?
final message is
Yes.
that 35 to 40% of our students are either orphans or needy. And for that reason, and I asked Ishmael to speak about the orphanage that we're going to be building on the fourth tract of land. And we hopefully will accommodate about 40 orphans as the first intake, inshallah, because many of those students that's coming into Jamiatul Qura, they apply for places, they have an orphan status, they have a needy status, and our fundamental principle is that we will never deny any child an education at Jamiatul Qura.
In fact, those 40 kids that are,
Your closing comments, please, Ishmael. We got about a minute left. Yes.
inshallah, that besides the money,
Yes.
you know, but perhaps from a different angle, that Allah grant us the sincerity to carry this through, inshallah.
I mean,
Jazakumullah. Chairman Sharif Abbas, Treasurer Ishmael Buli, Jamiatul Qura, celebrating 50 years of excellence in the memorization of the Holy Quran. A beautiful program in which these two gentlemen have spoken with truth, with conviction and sincerity. The challenge, my brothers and sisters at home, is to each and every one of us to reach out our hands in partnership with them, with Jamiatul Qura, to secure for us, inshallah, sadaqatul jariyah, but to simply improve the lives of young people. So we do not lament about the future of Muslim youth. We actively engage to make it a positive one as well. Until next time then, wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
لا 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 ما تسوى الدنيا تضيق خلقك الحمد لله ما حد بياخذ منك رزقك هدي وارتاح تابر واطمح من حقك بس بلاش العين لا 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 ما تسوى الدنيا تضيق خلقك الحمد لله ما حد بياخذ منك رزقك هدي وارتاح تابر واطمح من حقك بس بلاش